Hello, listeners. I wanted to let you know that Cameron and I recorded this episode in late 2025 or early 2026. And since then, I had to rearrange my episode release schedule. So this is actually episode 154, not 156. And I'm so glad I could give it to you early because it was an interesting conversation. Enjoy. Hello, and welcome to Story Power, a bi monthly podcast I created because I'm an unabashed story lover. Stories have had a huge impact on my life, starting with the family movie night discussions my parents instituted when I was a child. I want to share that love with you. As cognitive scientist Roger C. Shanks says, humans are not ideally set up to understand logic. They are ideally set up to understand stories. I'm making it my mission to not only spread the love of stories, but all the valuable things they teach us about human nature and relationships. We humans are emotional creatures, and stories help us examine our emotions from a comfortable distance. They also help us walk in the shoes of the characters to help us see the world in new ways. It's my hope you gain some valuable insights from my guests. Hello, Story Power listeners. Today is episode 156, and I'm talking to Cameron Smith, who has done a huge project on YouTube, 8 episodes of The Loneliest Boy on Earth. And I've watched 6 of those episodes. I stopped before because we were going to record and the other two weren't available. And then I got busy reading books and things for other guests. So, uh, so Cameron, I'm so happy to have you on the show and welcome.
Thank you for having me. And that's really amazing that you watched six. I feel like I haven't talked, I've done a number of podcasts, and I feel like a portion of the first episode is the most I've someone's watched and then talked to me. So,
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
this is exciting for me.
well, I watched a portion of 5 of them, a lot of the portions of 5 of them. I did watch the whole first episode. So, and when I saw that 7 and 8 were available, I went, but wait a minute. I have to read this book and I have a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
other projects. So I want you to tell me about the last two because, as part of what we're talking about. Now, when I was watching the episodes, I was thinking, oh, this is sort of like a video journal. Is that how you kind of thought of it, or?
That isn't how I thought of it when making it, but it did hit me at a certain point, like when I, you know, knew that it was going on YouTube. Um,
Yeah.
and then like I think like watching it in that context, it does, the way I describe it is like for an independent film, it's a it's got decent quality. It's certainly not like you notice it's a low to no budget thing, but in terms of YouTube video essay, it has very high production. So like
Uh-huh,
that, I
uh-huh.
have thought about it in that context where it's like, oh, it's just like a really well made YouTube video essay.
Yeah, yeah, really. Now, one of the things I was impressed about because I'm like pretty much my only employee. My husband helps me with the really technical stuff because he's a tech guy. But it was the filming. You had more than one camera, and you hired actors to be some of to portray some of the real people in your life. Occasionally, you had the real people in your life though, because oh, I forgot her name. Anyway, uh, so I thought, wow, how did first off, did you have to pay for that? And how did you get the people to do the filming? And what was the process for putting this all together?
Well, yeah, luckily I'm kind of in a blessed position in terms of I have a body of work and a like a local pool of people that I am friends with that know what I do. No, I will follow through with the projects that they involve themselves in, and are we're all kind of like a community of starving artists. So, luckily, I have a lot of people that just want to make art and don't really care so much about pay, because I can't really afford to pay people what they're actually worth.
Yeah.
So it's all sort of like a for fun, passion project sort of approach.
Yeah.
And with that being said, the actress Lena who played Bethany in the series,
Yeah.
um, Lena is a friend of mine. Like, I've known her for years, and she's also like an actual actress.
Mhm.
She does
Mhm.
that for a career. In fact, like halfway through shooting, she had to fly to Atlanta to go do an episode of Smiling Friends, for Adult Swim. So, like, she's got
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
legitimate acting gigs, and like,
Uh-huh.
but also she lived like 2 blocks away from me at the time of shooting this. So we lived close. We've known each other for years. She's very familiar with my work and my comedy. And um on that note, like, we talked about in the midst of making it, like, because I looked for other potential actresses to play this role.
Yeah.
But I landed on Lena, and I'm so happy I did, because I don't think I would have been able to make what I made with someone else. I think I would have
Right.
had to not, I wouldn't have been able to spend so much time or go so much deep, so deep. And I also, Lena did such an incredible job playing this role, pulling from her own experience and also just taking a little bit of my direction and absorbing the real person. She did a
Mhm.
fantastic
Mhm.
job.
Mhm.
And then as far as the behind the camera goes, those are also friends of mine. And in fact, none of them. Sorry, I'm getting a little tongue twisted. Had
It's
a little too
okay.
much caffeine, and it's catching up with my brain. Um, uh, I had like friends of mine that were not film people. I taught them how to use
Oh.
my equipment. So, like, the main guy that's shooting is my friend Michael, and
Oh.
at the time he's a organic dirt farmer. So there's this,
Oh.
we would
How
like
cool.
joke about, like, yeah, I hired a dirt farmer to shoot my movie. And then another was my friend Josh, who's he's like a middle-aged man, and he was just in between jobs, and he was looking for some stuff to do. So I was just like, do you
Yeah.
want to shoot with me? And then, yeah, my brother helped some, and my friend John Ripley helped some. He's acted in a bunch of my stuff. um and my friend Carly, yeah, a lot of different people kind of volunteered behind the camera. And yeah, I'm super grateful for the friends I have that are willing to participate.
Yeah, well, it seems like they can put that on their resume. Even if they didn't get paid, it's like part of their resume that they helped you with this project. Because it's a big project, 8 episodes. And the first one, I have to tell you, I watched the whole thing and then I had a headache afterwards. It was like, oh my gosh, because was it almost 2 hours?
Yeah, it was 2.5 hours. Mhm.
Oh yeah, oh 2.5 hours. Yeah, I should have broken it up because I'm not used to that much YouTube.
Right.
Um, but again, I was sitting in my office doing it. If I were in the living room, it might have been different. But
Yeah,
yes,
that's the to pull it up on the YouTube app on your TV probably would have been a better experience.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think that's also goes to that question of seeing it as a video essay versus like treating YouTube as a streaming service, and like Netflix or something. Because, like, yeah, we
right.
don't usually want to watch a 3 hour YouTube video, but we might very easily binge watch 3 hours worth of episodes on Netflix. So
Well, one thing about it is you can stop. And I didn't. You can stop and go get something to eat or drink or go to the bathroom or whatever. I didn't do that. And so, but yeah, as the episodes went along, I was saying now I had a question. Is this really are you writing an essay about your real life, or is this like a character? Are you playing a character? That was my question when I was watching.
oh, I'm. It's about my real life. It's all being pulled from my real life. However, I mean, I think that it's implied or implicit in the way I kind of describe myself and the way I think, um, that I'm aware of, that I am perceived in all sorts of ways. And sometimes I lean in to certain
Uh-huh.
qualities of mine. So I do think that there are attempts to I want to show the full spectrum of who I am, the good, the bad, and kind of the neutral.
Yeah.
But I do think that there is an element of leaning into some of the more villainous aspects of myself just to make it more interesting and dramatic and a little more like kind of edge of your seat disturbing. But no, it's honest and it's pulled from reality.
Well, I did think that. I thought, he's kind of leaning into the dark side. And then I said, oh, yeah, I kind of remember when I was in my 20s and a lot of, I mean, I had a lot of angst when I was in my 20s and I used to be a teacher of high school and college. And that just sort of seems to be the way things are. When you're in your 20s, you're going through lots of angst. Who am I? What am I supposed to be doing? Why am I here on the planet? How do I feel about myself? Stuff like that. And I'm in my 70s now, and so it was like, oh yeah, I kind of remember all of that.
Yeah.
And that's right there on the screen. And the two people that you use quotes from at the beginning and what are there quotes at the end of the episodes? Now I can't remember,
No,
but I remember there
they
were.
all open with a quote, and everyone's
Right.
from a different person. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. But you said in the first episode, you said that there was somebody that you had found that you were reading a lot of his work, and I can't remember who that was now.
Oh, Jordan Peterson.
Oh yeah, Jordan Peterson. And then there was somebody else that you started reading, and I said, "Oh, I think I need to suggest some other people for him because those guys kind of seemed a little dark to me." But have never read any of their work or like heard them talk or anything. So, yeah. Um,
Well, I don't know who the other one might be. I don't know. Oh, Robert Greene. That's the other one that
oh,
I start reading, The Art of Seduction. So I would
right.
say that Robert Greene's work is a bit like he focuses on the darker, unconscious power game type dynamics of human and social interaction. So his work
Yeah.
really does primarily focus on dark stuff. Jordan Peterson, I would not
Is
say is
he?
dark. I think he's full spectrum. Like he's just deep psychologist, sort of philosopher. So he's got the whole like bright self-help and look to something greater than you and pick yourself up and be tough and do something with your life. He's
Yeah.
got that, but he's also got like, hey, life is hell. It's really hard. Like, so like don't kid yourself about that. And I find in the self-help world, he's far more robust and useful in the ideas he provides than a lot of like kind of the watered down, like really simplistic self-help stuff is.
Yeah, I don't know who you've been reading. But when I was like, I think I was gonna about to turn 30, and I'd been going through this really horrible time. And somebody suggested that I read M. Scott Peck, and the very first sentence is "Life is difficult." So it's like Jordan Peterson and M. Scott Peck had the same idea that life is difficult. Everybody's life is difficult, not just yours. And I remember when I read that, I went, oh, yeah. Everyone's life is difficult. It's not just me. The universe isn't against me. It's
Mhm.
everybody has things to learn from all these challenges. So, yeah, that's great that you found somebody like that to help you along. So, now, I didn't get to see the last two episodes, so I
So you
think
finished six, right?
yeah, and I don't
And
remember
that's the
this.
one that ends with the phone call where I'm just like sitting.
She
Yep.
hangs up on you.
Yep. Okay. So
Yeah.
there's really only seven is the only other one that's out. And the eighth
Oh,
episode is going to take me probably another year to finish, and it will be long, like the first
oh,
episode is.
uh-huh,
So
uh-huh, uh-huh.
seven is the temporary finale.
Oh, and it seems to me the title was Going to Therapy, Couples
Yeah, couples
Therapy,
therapy. Hmm.
yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So I didn't get to watch that one. Yeah. So are you and Bethany still working things out, or
No, 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 no.
did she dump you, or
um, we I mean, that phone call you watch at the end of episode six is essentially how it ended. We kind of interacted a little bit more after that, but that was really essentially the way it ended. It was, we were getting in some long distance arguments, and then she told me, yeah, she like after the few weeks or month that we were kind of quote unquote together, she tells me in that call that she doesn't have romantic feelings for me and never did. And to me, I was having a hard time reconciling that sincere statement with the reality I just lived and all the
With
things that she's had said to me the past few weeks, to where
yeah.
like I don't I think I was at a point in arguing with her where my head went like I kind of don't care about the content of the argument anymore. I don't care about winning and I don't care about convincing her. I'm just seeing that I am trying to tie myself to a person who is playing this game, who is doing this
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
who is saying something that is very incongruent with what they just did. Like kind of not like
Good.
it would I would have totally been fine with like, hey, I did feel all these things and I did mean all these things like I said the past few weeks. However, I've changed my mind. Like
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel that way because you did this and this happened. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
ruined it
Mm-hmm.
for me. I would have totally been fine with that. But like to kind of twist it in this way, like nothing happened at all. I just never felt that way, and also the past few weeks just happened. Like as I was like,
Ah,
I'm out. And then she's like, well, do you want to be friends still? I'm like, no, I don't even want to be friends with you after something
yeah.
like that. That's not cool. And
Yeah.
so yeah, that's essentially how it ended. And she was quite upset about that. And I was too. I mean, we were both upset and we went our separate ways. And she
Yeah.
was not happy with me continuing to work on this documentary as I did.
Well, it's your work. One thing that I wanted to ask you, and I hope you won't be offended
Sure.
by this, but do you like yourself? Because when I was watching some of them, I was like, oh, Cameron, I don't think you like yourself. You got to learn to like yourself. I want you to like yourself. So I'm going to ask you that question. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, and
Sure.
we can
No,
cut this
that
part out.
absolutely, that's a wonderful question. I'm happy to answer it. Yes and no. It's complicated, and I would say that my relationship with myself and my perception of myself uh has improved drastically since going through the work of this project. A lot of, when I started making this, and I was making claims like, hey, I'm going to make this really interesting documentary and self-explorative piece of art, and I'm taking my greatest strength, creativity, and putting it against my greatest weakness, my issues with women or whatever, and
Uh-huh.
I'm going to make this documentary that exploits that weakness about me and is entertaining for people to watch, but is
Uh-huh.
also deep and therapeutic. And when I would say that it has the potential for therapeutic effects, it was a little tongue in cheek, honestly. Like I was like, yeah, maybe there's some self awareness that can come of this that will help me make progress in this problem. But I didn't. I completely underestimated the profundity of how it would change me. Oh
Yeah.
no, this actually was like my Achilles heel. And I actually did face this in a way to where like I had to feel sick with the amount of self-awareness that this experience of making it and watching it back and sharing it with people has made me experience.
Yeah.
And I had to go through these like emotional pains,
Yeah.
but I did come out on the other end, and I mean, I feel like they're on a very deep spiritual level have changed, and I do not feel possessed or even fearful of loneliness. I think I loved the loneliness I had, and then immediately, the girl I've been in love with since I was 12 years old, my first crush ever, comes back into my life, and we've been together for the past year. So
Oh.
and then it's a wonderful relationship. I've never had anyone treat me as well as she does, and we get
Uh-huh.
along very well. And it's
Yeah.
unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable.
Well, you know what? I have to relate this to my life. But first off, I want to say, as I was watching this, I was like, oh man,
Cameron's courageous because I would never want to put all my mistakes and foibles and stuff on camera on
Right.
YouTube, which is now kind of coming around full circle because I started writing a memoir. But but the other thing was that um, when I was in my 20s, I didn't go to college until I was 22 because I worked a little bit before. I didn't want to go right away. And so I was a little bit older than everybody, almost everybody else that I was going to college with. But I was really having a difficult time. And I dated a lot of guys, but none of them were the right one. And I didn't know who I was and what I wanted exactly, except that I just knew I wanted the kind of relationship that you're describing right now, and someone that I could love and that I could support, and somebody who would support me back. And finally, I came to the decision, well, I'm just going to have my circle of friends, and I may never get married, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And then one of the circle of friends happens to be my husband now. And uh, yeah, and he's 6 years younger than me. So it's like I kept going, oh, he's too young, he's too young, he's too young. But he came around when I finally just surrendered and said, oh, well, I may never
Right.
get married and it's all good. And it sounds sort of like what happened to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the classic let go and quit caring, and it immediately comes to you. I mean, the law of attraction is a very strange law.
I know. I know, really. Yeah, really. Wow. So wow, now you're working on your last episode. Do you have anything you're thinking about doing after that?
Well, I'm actually the last episode, I kind of know where it's going. I kind of know the setup, but it's um somewhat of a challenge, because the making a project like this is very different from making a narrative where you can just kind of outline a beginning, middle, and end, and then just go execute it.
Right.
This is more like I'm setting up um, a structure to capture some real stuff in, and then based on what I capture, figure out what to shoot next and how to wrap it up and all that. So, like, the
Yeah.
structure I'm setting up now, I have the first act or the first third of it shot, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
slowly kind of piecing it together. I'm living inside the second act right now, and I'm going to find out what the third act is.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah.
that's why I know it's going to take me at least another year, because this is going to need time to unfold based on what's
Right.
happening in real life.
Yeah.
So because it's a slow burner, I've already started working on my next thing. I'm going back to music, and
Oh, good.
I
Yeah.
am making what I believe will be my final album as Camboy Smith, and then I might change my name and work on different music other than
Mm-hmm.
rap. But
And you write your own stuff.
yes. Mhm.
Yeah. Now, what about your stand up? Do you still do that?
I haven't really been on stage much the past couple years, and it's mostly because the comedy scene where I live is not enjoyable for me anymore. I don't.
Oh,
I yeah, and I've had so much more fulfillment in working on this film and working on music. I just like I love stand up, and I will probably return to it one day. I'm not going to live around here forever, and when I get out of here, I'll
right.
certainly get back on stage. But right now, I don't have anything coming out of me that I'm just dying to say.
Yeah, right.
At least not in stand up comedy form.
Yeah,
So I'm taking a intentional
a
break.
break from that. Yeah, yeah. Now, what kind of music are you thinking about doing when you change your name and start something new?
I don't know. I'm kind of a genre bending type person. It will probably yeah, I'll probably pick some new name, and the genre might just evolve on the albums. Some it might be a little bit rap or hip hop. It might be a little like dream pop. It might be electronic. There might be some rock and whatever in there. I have no idea where that will go, but I think that's the thing that excites me, is breaking out of the character of Camboy Smith and breaking out
Mm-hmm.
of the constraints of the genre. And it's like, okay, I just want to make music and bend it to whatever I'm feeling.
Yeah, because who you are is evolving. So of course your music is going to evolve too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I had another question, but I was listening to you and now I forgot what it was. It happens to me a lot. Because
Same here.
I'm listening and I forget. Um, so oh yeah, that's what it was. Um, you live in North Carolina? Is that where you live?
Correct.
North Carolina?
Yes.
Oh yeah, okay. So
Where do you
where
live?
Southern Arizona, southeast
Oh, okay.
corner.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we've talked about that in the messages, the
Yeah,
whole
I live
time
a
zone
mile
thing.
from the border in Mexico. I can see Trump's fence from
Oh, nice.
my property. Yeah. Well, it was the GW fence before that. So anyway, and I used to teach at a border town. I was teaching English even though my background's in theater. And one of the things I had them do was make cartoons of the border wall. And the funniest one was Mexicans coming from Mexico to come in to sign up to build the wall. And then to go back home.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
That was so funny. I loved it. Yeah, so yeah, so where do you think you're gonna go?
Well, my girlfriend, Katie, she has this dream of building a van, like a to live in Sprinter
Yeah,
van,
yeah,
and she
yeah,
has
yeah.
bought the van. She has now bought that like
Yeah.
a few months ago, and she's just saving up money to start custom building
Renovate
it
it.
because her and her dad and her brother all like work on cars and stuff, and so
Oh,
she's gotten quite good at doing that kind of stuff, and she's got a vision and plans all for what she's going to make this thing at the final product. And once we've saved up money and finished building this van, will probably take us a year or two. We're going to get on the road. And I'm
yeah,
probably going to be a traveling stand up comedian, and she's going to pursue some marine biology jobs. And I'm sure we'll also have some remote side hustles that can keep us
yeah,
afloat when those things aren't quite
yeah.
paying.
Something that you can do wherever you are.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So now you own a lot of equipment though.
Mhm.
What are you gonna do with that? Are you just gonna store it someplace?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll store most of it. I mean, I have a pretty stripped down setup. I don't have super big,
Oh,
crazy equipment. But yeah, I'll probably, strip my stuff down to maybe like a laptop, a recording microphone, and pop filter, and
uh-huh,
a couple
uh-huh.
cameras, like accessories and whatnot. But I'll be
Okay.
pretty stripped down.
Yeah. Well, that's cool though. I love that. I love that you're gonna travel around while you feel good and do what you love because man, when I graduated and I got my master's in theater, it was difficult. It was difficult to do the theater and make any money at it. I was teaching, at Parks and Rec departments and teaching drama and that kind of thing. But it didn't make a whole lot of money. I was driving at that time I lived in Portland. I was driving all over the metro area and across to Vancouver, Washington to teach and I was also in plays and things, but it was all semi-professional and it was, I was also working backstage and working in the costume shop and doing stage managing, all these things. But yeah, by then I was married and uh you know, I finally had to give all that up. And then I got to teach it, which was that was the perfect thing. Um but for you to just go out there, that's so courageous. And I was going to say that too, that as I was watching all of your episodes, I was like, "Oh man, this is courageous." And I think
Well,
I
thank
said
you.
that before. I think I might have said that before in our interview, but yeah, I could never have done it. So kudos to you. And man, I hope that you get lots of followers. How many followers do you know? How many followers you have on
Oh
your?
yeah. Well, this is depressing. It's I think I have about 1,400 followers on Instagram, and that's maybe my most active audience. But really, when I post something, I, I probably have anywhere between 20 and 50 people that interact with it. Like, maybe up to 100, but yeah, I don't really have a lot of active followers or people paying attention to my stuff. I think I had a bit more engagement at different periods of my life, and so yeah, figuring out how to um increase my like an actual engaged audience is something I am really thinking about right now, because it's I don't really care so much about the attention for attention's sake, but I do care about being able to make a living off of the art that I like making,
Right.
so in order to monetize that, you got to have some sizable audience.
Yeah.
And so that's just kind of like the unfortunate reality of it. Like I hate marketing. I hate promoting my stuff. I don't like that side of it. I just like making it and putting it out there. And of
Yeah.
course I like showing it to people and getting feedback and not necessarily feedback, because I feel like a lot of people want to give me like their notes about what to fix. And I'm like, it's out. Like I'm not looking for those notes. I just want to know what it made you feel, or like how you took it, or
Yeah.
um what it made you
Yeah.
think of, or what your experience was. That's really all. I like getting that stuff, but
Yeah.
because otherwise, yeah, I mean, with this project, I feel like the no, everyone's note is it's a bit too long. Like,
But see, that's the thing. You don't have to watch it all in one set, in one sit down. You can,
yeah.
break it up. That's that's what I do. If something's really long and I want to watch it, I'll watch part of it and then I'll come back to it later.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Watch things at your
Yeah.
own pace. I think just like the reason why that note irritates me is one, I get it often. Two, there's obviously a way for me to make anything I make shorter. But the
Yeah.
question is, what is being lost? And to me, I
Right.
think that there's a lot of dimensions that make the thing unique, give it depth. There are things that don't really truly don't necessarily need to be in it, but they are like decorations and ornaments, and they are like little beautiful nuggets that are just kind of attached to it, that it's like, look, I've cut all sorts of things out of this thing. I've made the decision to leave other things in. So
Right.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
that I'm
I
getting
mean,
worked up for no reason at this point.
well, but the thing is, what you're doing is doing self exploration, and it's just happens to be on video. And self exploration is one of those things that just it goes off on this tangent and then it comes back and then it goes off on this tangent, and then that's kind of what I felt about it was you're figuring things out as you go along, or at least you're showing the things that you're figuring out as you're going along. And yeah, I didn't think it well, I mean, I do a thing with my sister called Classic Cinema with the Sage Sisters, and every episode is about an hour at least. Sometimes it's a little longer. And my husband says, you should probably make it shorter. Well, I'm sorry, but we're analyzing a movie.
Right,
And there are
right.
little things to talk about. So, you're analyzing your life. Uh, and that's what the video is all about, is this segment of your life. Yeah. Okay. Uh, well, I didn't make any comments. I'm sorry, I should have. Uh, but yeah, I get that whole thing about because we don't have very many. Well, we've only been doing it since February, but I'm with you. I don't want to take the time to market it really. I talk about it with when I'm a guest on podcast, or sometimes I'll mention it like I did just now in my own episodes, but we're not doing it to make money. We're doing it for a different reason.
Right. Yeah, it's fulfilling. We love doing it. And
Yeah.
that's like, yeah, the sort of the pressure is like, I wish I could fill my life with the work that I love. And that is the thing that unfortunately puts you in the corner, is like, all right, well, if I don't want a normal job that I hate, I do have to play that marketing game. I do have
Yes.
to yeah, and that it
Yeah.
feels icky and disgusting, but you know what? It be if if you can get good at that, I guess it beats having to have a bad job that you don't like.
Well, maybe doing these podcasts has helped you get some followers because I'm sure there are lots of 20 somethings, 30 somethings out there who are going through exactly the same thing or almost exactly the same thing you're going through because that's when you're trying to figure life out. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a lifelong process. But once I got to my 40s and 50s and 60s and now I'm 72, it's like, oh, well, it's so much easier. It gets so much easier at the older you get because more puzzle pieces are put into the puzzle. Right now, you don't have a whole lot of pieces put in your puzzle.
right. Yeah, and to your point, I mean that is something I do feel quite good about with this project is that it's super relatable. It's about a very relatable subject for a lot of people my age.
Hmm.
And I do feel like that it is getting it in front of people that is difficult, but once it's in front of them, I think that I feel good about that I made something good, and
Yeah.
that would be liked if it were paid attention to. But that's the trick, is getting it paid attention
Well,
to.
I mean, it's going to be on YouTube probably for a very long time. So, maybe it's a slow burn kind of thing.
Maybe, yeah, might have to take a while for the organic traction to pick up.
Yeah, yeah. So, wow, that sounds like really fun. Living in the van and traveling around, and who knows what opportunities you're gonna have when you meet people from different parts of the country. And yeah, you're opening up to something exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm also scared. I love having my
Yeah.
home that is, you know, arranged in a way that is to my comfort. But yeah, all the growth happens in uncomfortable situations.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. I agree. I agree with you. Oh, this has been really fun. Do you have anything else you want to say before we go?
No, I've really enjoyed this conversation, and thank you very much for having me, Lucinda. And I know we've exchanged messages, and you're very understanding. But I appreciate you being understanding for the whole scheduling mix-up last time.
It's not the first time it's happened. It's all good.
Well, it's the first time it's happened to me. I'm usually pretty on top of it. I do not know. My brain just failed me that day. But anyway, I very much appreciate it. Also, thank you very much for watching as much as you have. I really do appreciate that. Not a lot of people go that extra yard, so I do appreciate your time and attention.
Yeah, I when I first started, because the Story Power is 5.5 years old now, I didn't read all the books or watch all the videos and then I said, you know what? I would if when I started doing guest spots, I always appreciated it when someone had actually read my book or
Yeah,
listened to the podcast or whatever, even if it's only a few episodes. And I said, I think I need to do that. So it was probably a couple of years in that I started trying to read the books and listen to the music or look at the artwork or whatever it was. And I have found some really fulfilling conversations that way. I've had some really fulfilling conversations because I took the time to
yeah,
do that. So so thank you
of
for
course,
producing that and being so honest. Oh my gosh, being so
oh, of
honest in
course.
it. Yeah, in your videos. Because sometimes I was like, oh yeah, I remember being that age. But it was, yeah, I mean, I was like, man, he's so courageous. I would never be able to do that. So thank
Well, thank
you.
you very much for calling me courageous. That is a compliment not taken lightly.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad that I got to say it to you. So, people, I'm sure that at least 7 episodes will be available. Go watch Cameron's it's, what is it? The Loneliest Boy on Earth. Go watch The Loneliest Boy on Earth and take your time with it and think about it, because a lot of things happen, and a lot of thought-provoking things happened. One of the things that I thought was really interesting was when you sat down and had your friends tell you what they thought, who you were. I was like, oh man, that's
Yeah.
hard. Sometimes that's hard to hear. So yeah, that was really
Yeah.
good.
Luckily, they were all pretty kind to me.
Yeah, they were. They were kind. So you have a great time working on your last episode, and I'll be looking for it because I did subscribe to your
Oh,
channel.
awesome.
Yeah, and I'll go watch the 7th and 8th episodes. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Lucinda.
Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
I hope you not only enjoyed this episode, but gained something valuable to take away with you. If you like what you heard, please share it with your friends and give us a rating and or review. If you're a story lover too, I invite you to join my Patreon community at patreon.com/storypower, all one word. Or you might be interested in classic cinema with the Sage Sisters, a YouTube channel and Facebook page I started with my sister Celeste, where we choose one classic movie that we think still has lessons for us today. As you can see, I'm passionate about spreading the love of stories and completely believe what Philip Pullman said. After nourishment, shelter, and companionship, stories are the thing we need most in the world. Until next time, this is Lucinda Sage-Midgorden. Thanks for listening.